Prime Minister Justin Trudeau now stands exposed in front of the entire world. Trudeau made a definitive admission surrounding terrorist Niger's killing. Trudeau added that the basis of his claims was intelligence inputs and not any hard evidentiary proof that Canada has been asserting it shared with India. But even after this startling revelation, there are some Trudeau apologists in our own country who toe Canada's line amidst the diplomatic standoff between the two nations. Former Punjab Chief Minister and Congress MP Charanjit Singh Channi has cast aspersions on Indian agencies being involved in the rise of gangsters. The lawmaker also urged the centre to not ruin ties with Canada, keeping in mind the number of Punjabis living in Canada. Meanwhile, the BJP has slammed this bizarre response by the Congress Neta, claiming that the opposition was not bothered about India's integrity. Listen in to the war of words.
Their asks of us was, well, how much do you know? Give us the evidence you have on this. And our response was, well, and at that point it was primarily intelligence, not hard evidentiary proof.
After the public inquiry, public hearing, we had again issued a statement saying that Canada has leveled serious allegations but has so far not given any evidence to back it up. PM Trudeau's own admission yesterday would indicate the value as regards our stance on the allegations.
ਸਾਡੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ। ਗੈਂਗਸਟਰ ਫਿਰ ਪੈਦਾ ਕੌਣ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ? ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਏਜੰਸੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਕਤਲ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਰਾਜਨੀਤਿਕ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਹੋਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਜਾਏਗੀ।
Well, this Channi or any, for that matter, the whole Congress ecosystem has gone berserk. They just don't think about the integrity of the country. Before Canada, people like Channi and people in the Congress party must know that the country's self-respect and the country's integrity is the most important, and what Canada has done cannot be ignored.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining the debate with Shehzad Poonawalla and Sanjay Jha are Anand Ranganathan, Smita Prakash and Ravi Srivastava, political analysts. First to you, Sanjay Jha. Charanjit Singh Channi, is he with the Congress party? Is he with the country, or is he with Canada? Is he a supporter of Justin Trudeau, or is the Congress party a supporter of India as a sovereign nation, a sovereign power? Even in the face of Trudeau saying that he's only talking about some intelligence and he has no proof about Niger's killing and all the accusation he's made on India, do you think the Congress party should be seen standing with Justin Trudeau and Canada?
Navika, I think this is a very sensitive debate. Give me 1 minute to put the entire discussion in perspective. The national security, territorial sovereignty, India's reputation, this has not happened after 2014. Let's be very clear. All prime minister, all governments have built India's reputation, whether it's commercial, political, or social. And Narendra Modi and his government do not have any business to make statements on anybody who's asking them questions, because India's reputation is today being talked about globally. Here are 2 facts that you need to talk about. Number 1, in the case of GS Pannu with America, why has Mr. Modi's government agreed and actually incarcerated a raw officer? That is a manifestation of the government saying there has been culpability and a certain law-based order, an international order, has been violated by India. It's a public admission by Narendra Modi's government. That cannot be denied. Point number 1. Point number 2, in the allegations made by the Prime Minister of Canada, okay, here is the point. The BJP and its social media trolls and the deep state has been spreading on social media that Justin Trudeau said, well, we are only acting on intelligence. But look at the recent statements. They have talked about irrefutable evidence. I'm quoting what the Canadian government has said. They have said, well, ample, clear and concrete evidence. And they have talked about that famous Singapore meeting. Here is a question to Mr. Modi's government through your channel. America is backing Canada. So is the entire Five Eyes Alliance.
Sanjay Jha,
what is Mr. Modi's government saying about it?
I don't think I need a lesson in international diplomacy, India's position in the world. I know that quite well. I asked you a question about Charanjit Channi, which you haven't responded to. Lofty lectures, yes, I appreciate that India existed as a nation before 2014. I'm not the one who propounds the theory that we became independent in 2014. But Shehzad Poonawala, why is there no response on Channi's statement?
You know, foreign policy is an issue on which usually it is always a bipartisanship that is practiced. But when Congress sounds less sensible, then I am saying it, Smita, Anand, less sensible than Saket, Gokhale and the communists, then you have to imagine that what level Rahul Gandhi has descended to. This is the same Rahul Gandhi who goes and gets clicked with Ilan Omar. This is the same Rahul Gandhi who has not yet denounced the support given by SFJ, a banned terrorist group. This is the same Rahul Gandhi who goes on foreign soil and says that we want intervention. This is the same Congress party that says Pakistan's version on surgical strike is right, on Balakot airstrike is right, on 370 is right, gets published in their dossier. Now coming to what has happened today. Justin Trudeau started making up first credible allegations issue. Whatever is credible allegations, only Sanjay Jha, Congress can decipher that. Then he says that today there is no hard evidence, it was just intelligence. And look, even the Canadians, Arey bhai, listen, why are you so much in a hurry to defend international Pappu? I mean, I don't understand that the world is calling him. I'm not saying this. I have heard a commentator say this, that now people are perceiving him as international Pappu and you are going and defending him. But you are not defending your own country's interests. Now, please, sir, you please speak in your own turn.
No. I also need to get two very important people into the debate. Two people who Canada thinks have actually derailed and defamed them. Anand Ranganathan and Smita Prakash find mention in international dossiers now. Today, I mean, I'm grateful for your august presence on the panel tonight. And Smita Prakash, you know, I read your tweet as well. Khan Market में आपको पार्किंग मिलती नहीं है. आपने कनाडा हिला रखा है. आप खान मार्केट गैंग से हैं क्या?
Look, Navika, I'm guessing that someone will make a clip of this part of the debate, and the Canadians are also going to be seeing this. So I want to address that. I don't want to get into the spat between Sanjay and Shehzad. I think they can deal with it, and happy birthday, Shehzad. So you see, when I saw that document, Navika, that potential foreign information interference manipulation document, some of our names are on that list. Anand and I are also on that list. Now this document was put out by Canada and I was really flummoxed. I just couldn't believe that such a naive and callow statement would be put out by a P5 nation. So, you know, I put on my Sherlock Holmes glasses and I read and I reread the statement. Ye kisne likha hai? Who's written this? The sentence construction gives out so many hints. It almost seems familiar and very Indian. You know, Indian bole to very Khan Market, South Delhi, scholarly Indian, you know, very proper, if you know what I mean. So who could have drafted it? It's, you know, my conjecture and purely conjecture in a very Trudeau-like fashion, I'm saying.
Without hard evidence.
Not based on facts, it's only on conjecture. There is a sagar of clues. There is a sagar of clues. Ocean of clues. Not ikka dukka. Sagar of clues. Somebody who has an axe to grind on the names on that list. He or she is probably miffed with a colleague of a family member. Shiva. I won't take the name. Betrayal like in the days of the Raj. Or has taken umbrage at some of the tweets made by the others on the list. So revenge through the smoke screen of a Canada spat. Or puppeteered by a person who who's adept at turning words. A brain who doesn't want to play ducks and drakes, but is firing from Canadian shoulders. So really, Canada, please.
My
neither
God,
Anand nor I nor
Smita
others
Prakash,
we are
you are in a
mess
killer,
there.
you are
They
in
can
a
do what
killer
they want
mood,
there.
and yes,
We are
this
not
clip is
interested.
going to go viral. And Smita, we're going to come back to you for, dumbing this down for us. Will you do it on camera, off camera? I leave the choice to you. But Anand Ranganathan, are you also bitten by the same bug? And the saga of, hints that Smita is talking about?
Navika, I must admit that my cover has been blown. I used to be proud of being called the international man of mystery, but I've been outed as a Ra agent. No, but unbelievable. Based on my year-old sarcastic tweets, I've been charged by repositories of the Canadian government interfering in Canada's internal affairs and politics. And what are those two tweets, by the way? The first one says, if Osama bin Laden was a Canadian citizen, he'd be very much alive still and staying in Ottawa off Sussex Drive. That's where Trudeau lives, with his 5 wives and 20 kids. And the second tweet was a comment on Trudeau's father, who refused to extradite Kanishka's terrorists, and I remarked on Justin Trudeau that an apple never falls far from the tree. I do admit I might not have been factually correct there, because if Justin Trudeau is an apple, then the tree is quite possibly not Canadian but Cuban, if you know what I mean. No, but just remember this. Navika, did any sensible American disapprove President Obama killing Osama on foreign soil? Which Indian, if it is a possibility, I'm not saying it is, but which Indian wouldn't want his country safer through his leader taking steps to eliminate its enemies? Every large and powerful nation runs covert ops. It's not just sensible, it is vital. And this Niger, whose extradition was refused more than a dozen times by the same Canadians, he's not a Khalistani terrorist, because Khalistan doesn't exist, as Gaurav Arya says. He is a Canadian terrorist. This Niger is the same guy who was put on a no-fly list, something that is done for criminals and terrorists, who bombed and assassinated innocents and formulated kill lists of Indian diplomats who wanted the breakup of India. And this Trudeau, the same guy who congratulated America for killing al-Zawahiri.
Absolutely. And Anand Ranganathan and Smita Prakash, so far I only thought that you were people accused of setting the narrative in Indian politics and deciding the left versus the liberal debate in India. आपके तो इंटरनेशनल जलवे हैं भाई, इंटरनेशनल जलवे हैं. कनाडा को आपने हिला रखा है. I don't know.
International खिलाड़ी number 1.
Well, but Ravi Srivastava.
One line before Ravi comes, just one line. Let me make it very clear, because I'm also the official spokesperson of the party, which is in governance now. We have nothing against the good-natured Canadian people. We think that it's the Canadian government, headed by Mr. Trudeau, which is responsible for precipitating these matters. And I would just say one thing: look at where Congress is today. Congress is supporting those who are celebrating murder of Indira Gandhi. I may hate Congress, but Congress's Prime Minister was my Prime Minister. And if they are going to celebrate Indira Gandhi's assassination on foreign soil and call for Khalistan to be made, that is a red line that we have drawn. So therefore, Congress supporting Justin Trudeau is really inexplicable.
Truly, at this point, all I can say is that, anybody seen to be supporting Trudeau is on slippery ground, no pun intended. But the fact of the matter is that when it comes to your own nation versus another, even if it is a nation as slippery as Canada and an international pappu involved, as Shehzad points out, well, Congress party really needs to go back to the drawing board to rethink its strategy. आपके बहुत इंडियंस रहते हैं, हमारे भी फैमिली, हर पंजाबी के फैमिली मेंबर्स वहाँ रहते हैं, लेकिन we are not going to take the insults of Justin Trudeau lying down, and that is a nation of 140 crore people. Take it as a final position. Congress, are you standing different from the rest of the nation? Well, your choice. We leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining me.